Hot take. Modern art sucks a dick. Now, I know that there are good portrait artists out there. I know that there are a lot of good old school techniques that are being adopted by modern artists because you can't really take ancient techniques and let ancient artists perform them because time is a thing. But then you got these quasi-famous people, for whatever reason, who think that they're artists, okay? Whether it be in music, whether it's in television or film, what have you, even in the art sphere. They have a semi-famous name. They think that they're important, and all of a sudden, hey, look at my hobby that I used to do in my garage for fun and kicks. I can all of a sudden kickstart it into a little bit of a career. Maybe to fund some stuff. Who knows? But like a New York City gallery owner thinks, Hunter Biden's trash paintings, like, look at some of this shit, okay? I'm sure he's a pisser to hang out with, based on some of his text message conversations, based on some of the pictures that are on his laptop there that we've seen. The dude knows how to throw a party. That's the nicest way to put it. But outside of that, yeah, he's probably the best person we've seen, at least while his old man's in office, of how to cash in on your family's legacy while doing just about nothing. Yeah, Hunter Biden, he's an artist, okay? Apparently. And his artwork is going to sell at least double thanks to his family name. Yeah, obviously. And you better strike while the iron's hot, because eventually some of these investigations are going to come in there. And I don't know how well a discredited last name sells on the market, but you don't hear any Polanski children. Well, you hear about Polanski children. Any of them cashing in on the old man's success or hot tub shenanigans. A New York City art gallery owner predicts that Hunter Biden's latest venture as a full-time artist will prove to be profitable, with his art selling significantly over the actual value because of his family name alone. But just don't look at the fact that his self-scribed memoir, you remember he put out a book not that long ago. Not too many other people, rather, found it that interesting, and I don't think it charted for that long because it's off of every single top seller list you could possibly think of. Amazon, yeah, you'd actually have to do a search for it. It's not plastered on the front screen. I don't think that it's still on the New York Times list. It's fucking dead in the water. Even with the mainstream media allowing him to sit down on every talk show from 60 Minutes to Dateline to the fucking Wendy Williams program. I'm surprised Oprah Winfrey didn't grant him a fucking interview. I'm sure that's coming though. Hunter Biden, President Joe Biden's scandal-ridden son, is now reportedly engaged as a full-time artist and is already working with a Soho art dealer who reportedly has some ties to China. Of course, George Berges? Sure. Berges is expected to hold a private viewing displaying the president's son's work and will hold an exhibition in New York in the coming months. Prices for Hunter's artwork range from $75,000 to $500,000 according to ArtNet. Fair chunk of change, and it's a little bit different because I was also thinking, it's like, okay, you had Kamala Harris's assorted family members, you know, that John Lennon lookalike and she got a modeling gig off of her striking good looks, and then she also had another niece who is marketing off of Kamala's likeness, but at least she got struck down because she was trying to profit off of the name, but instead Hunter and the toilet brush for Vogue can continue to profit off of their own crafts because they have the name. It's touchy. And when you're in politics, you can get away with a hell of a lot more stuff than what regular folks could do or be cleared of collusion for. So let's just see. Alex Acevedo, owner of Alexander Gallery in Midtown Manhattan, told the New York Post he believes Hunter's venture will prove to be profitable, and not just because of the pieces themselves. "I've been in the art business since 1956, Acevedo told the outlet. "I'm not impressed with modern art at all, but I know his last name, and I would really, really like to make sure that I also get another 10%, because I fashion myself as somewhat of a big guy myself." And I was floored by that guy. Really, motherfucker? You see that picture there? You're floored by that? Maybe you hung out with him in the early aughts and you were standing a little bit too close to something that was popping out of a pipe, but okay, I'll take you at your word. Fucking creep. Describing the palette as wonderful and adding that he would buy a couple of them. Yeah, how badly does he want a couple of his pieces to hang up in the White House? Fuck off. and anybody who buys it would be guaranteed instant profit. Really? You think that this golden goose is going to continue to shit out those eggs? Okay. Suggesting that Biden's name will play a hefty role into the pieces of Hunter's, or the prices of Hunter's pieces. What does George W. Bush's artwork goes for? Or is he selling any of it, or is it just for personal use in case he runs out of Charmin? He's the president's son. No. What the fuck? I wish you would have told me in advance. I can't stand that type of shock. Everybody would want a piece of that. Something Hunter has said a bunch of times. The provenance is impeccable. What a pretentious cunt this guy is. Navasito told the Post that Hunter's pieces would typically range of $25,000 to $100,000, but his family name plays a significant role at the price point. Oh, these are the... Okay, we're constantly wondering, it's like, who listens to celebrities anymore? But we found them. They're ancient old motherfuckers that still think that celebrity has some sort of a name value to it. We found them. We found them. They're art dealers. Okay, cool. Dude, holy shit. The art consultant said he expects some of the works to possibly top $1 million in the end. Wow. Well, we could check this, actually. Let me see. If we're making comparisons, what do the price of some old Gary Glitter master recordings go for? But enough about these atrocities caught on canvas. What about some more stuff coming out of the laptop? Oh my god, it's a never-ending treasure trove of fun. Did Joe inadvertently pay for Hunter Biden's wild night at Chateau Marmont? Oh, perhaps. This story is kind of funny, and I thought I'd share it all with you. It's May of 2018, and Robert Hunter Biden is trawling through his favorite Los Angeles escort sites. He orders Yana, a 24-year-old Russian native from Emerald Fantasy Girls. As he would put it, not yellow. Russian, green eyes, thin brunette, an elite courtesan, sorry. His Yana's pitch, along with a menu of sex acts, like sucking dick and eating Skittles. Hi, my name is Rob. I'm staying at Chateau Marmont. Are you available now? Ugh, this reads like a shitty romance novel you'd pick up at the fucking rack at a supermarket right above the Trident. Yana goes to college, he smokes crack, they drink vodka, have sex, make porn, have fun times, sexy times. He balances a line of M&Ms on his erect dick and takes photographs of it because he's a fun guy. I mean, who hasn't been there? All of these messages, all of these pictures are saved on Hunter Biden's laptop, which he treats like a diary, storing every email and text conversation as financial records and his copious selfies. I've never seen a man take this many naked pictures in my life. And considering he's 51 years old, I don't think that there's anybody comparable out there. Maybe Anthony Weiner? They all did run in the same circle, so maybe you just taught him a few angles. That makes sense. But let's just skip ahead. I'll leave that there for disturbing purposes. Yana stays for a couple of days and wants to be paid. The problem is Hunter's debit cards aren't working and she's not leaving without the $8,000. $8,000 for a weekend. Man, that's pretty good money if you can get it. He owes her for the extended call-out the morning of May 24th. Hung over and all sorts, Hunter adds a new recipient to the cash transfer app Zelle, a woman named Glenora. Sexy. A registered agent for Emerald Fantasy Girls and Yana's employers. He transfers $8,000. It doesn't work. A few minutes later, Wells Fargo sends him a fraud detection alert. He reaches into his wallet and pulls out a card. Yana attempts to transfer $8,000, but it apparently doesn't go through. He rifles through his wallet again, no luck. He pulls out another card. A bingo! Yana leaves and he crashes. But while he sleeps, his bank accounts are being emptied. The receipts he saves on the computer, the transactions he thought had failed, had gone through one after another. The first 8,000 is recorded, leaving his account at 10:22 a.m. At 10 to 11, $2,000 leaves a different account. At 10:59, $3,500 vanishes, and at 11 a.m. another $8,000 and holy fuck. All of this for whores. At 11:03, another $3,500. About $25,000 moves in under an hour. Another $3,500 is scheduled to transfer out later that afternoon, but will be delayed soon enough. His cell phone starts pinging. It's Yana. There's many transactions on my account, she texts. From last night, 8K, $3,500. So get back with me when can. You can transfer back to you. Better if you call my personal. Oh wow, a whore with morals. She follows up, I'm happy to see that much in my account. Her last text. No worries, you can have the rest back. Karma's a bitch. Hands up, fellas out there. If you've ever accidentally gave a woman something extra, what are the odds that she actually gives it back? I'm just saying, this call girl's a keeper. What happens between Hunter and Yana next is not recorded. Yana's private cell phone number no longer works, and the Emerald Fantasy Girls is defunct. Chris Amreta, an attorney for Yana, declined to comment. Hunter Biden's attorney did not return a message. What we do know from the laptop is that a few hours after Hunter's debit card woes began, text messages started arriving that are labeled as being from Robert Savage III. Savage was once a Secret Service special agent in charge of the Los Angeles field office, and contact card for him appears on a laptop with a photographic avatar, phone numbers, and Secret Service email address. Interesting. Secret Service told the Post that Savage retired from the agency on April 30th, 2018, weeks before Biden's debauchery, and that the agency did not provide protection to any member of the Biden family in 2018. Very, very interesting. Savage's lawyer says, my client has never met or communicated with Hunter Biden. Oh, looks like that's a lie. And has never been to the Chateau Marmont, and had not even heard of the hotel. Really? In fact, my client was retired before the date of these fabricated text messages. Yeah, it's tough to make that claim once everything on the laptop was verified as being very real. So you can go ahead and you make that claim. It's just never going to stand up. Anyways, the activity recorded on Hunter's devices shows Savage sending Hunter an urgent missive. A message? Probably message. On May 24th at 6:37 p.m. I'm in the lobby. Come down. Thanks. Rob. At least he's very direct in these doctored text messages, right? Hunter replies 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, Savage texts again. Come on, H. This is linked to Celtic's account. DC is calling me every 10 minutes. Let me up or come down. I can't help you if I don't, let me in, H. Celtic was Joe Biden's Secret Service code name when he was vice president. Because he's Irish? That's racist. Did one of the credit cards used to pay Yana belong to Joe Biden? Was it a shared account? Hunter replies, I promise, be right down. Sorry. 5 minutes later, Savage texts Hunter again to say that Dale Pupillo, probably, a retired deputy assistant director for the Secret Service who used to guard his father, had arrived. Wow, what privilege. You just have old retired Secret Service officers just on speed dial? That's impressive. Invoices indicate that Pupillo did background checks for Hunter on potential business partners. Pupillo did not return requests for comment. It was probably busy, you know. The Hunter's going to have to find a way to transfer all of that well-earned art money and turn it into successful businesses. Call the front desk now, H, or I will have to assume you are in danger, and we will have to make them give us the keys. Really, Rob and I are coming down right now. Hunter texts at 6:54 p.m. I really promise. Was in the bathroom, buddy. Coming right this second. 30 seconds later, Savage replies, we're at your door. Open it. But these apparent reminders told Hunter next isn't recorded on his device. We know Hunter stays up the rest of that night, logging onto the encrypted government site, securelogin.gov, a number of times until 4:04 a.m. In his memoir, Beautiful Things, that was the previous chart topper, right? Hunter admits that crack cocaine benders consume most of his 2018, even if he gets blacklisted from Chateau Marmont. Late at night on Thursday, July 19th, 2018, Hunter is checking into the front desk at the iconic Sunset Boulevard Hotel, where John Belushi famously overdosed in Led Zeppelin through Ragers. The night manager is about to hand over the familiar green silk tasseled set of room keys when he notices a warning on Hunter's file in the computer system that stipulates he needs to get pre-approval from the general manager before checking in. And that's the fun and festivities for the evening, a 2.9-ounce crack rock, which was used at a different restaurant, at a different hotel room because, yeah, denied entry for being a degenerate. Could you imagine? The hotel where John Belushi overdosed. The hotel when Led Zeppelin would come in and absolutely fucking rip up the place in the late 60s, and you're too much of a degenerate to be allowed to stay the night. That's impressive, and that should have been on the front page of Beautiful Things, if we're being honest, because that right there is a badge of honor. Oh, Hunter Biden, you never ever fail. Be a massive source of enjoyment. But it'll be interesting because I would like to see where this goes, because as you remember, there are some more tacit connections between Joe Biden funding, supporting, however you want to put it, enabling his debaucherous behavior for 2018 if he just wants to go ahead and shoehorn it all into that 1 year. That's fine. That also questions the decision-making of the current commander-in-chief, which is frightening in and of itself. But I bring you this story because, well, nobody else is going to. Outside of the New York Post, I don't see anybody talking about this. But when it comes to the laptop from hell, they kind of have the inside scoop on it because this is the Post. After all, they're the ones who broke this story, and they're the ones who got banned off Twitter. And it's looking like Twitter's up to their old shenanigans again, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to broach a topic that I haven't spoke about in a while, mostly because I like to stay up on all these platforms, but this one's just too good to pass up because, boy, it's really quite a convenience whenever somebody right of Mao has an opinion on a certain situation and they find themselves on the outside looking in. So might as well document said situation. And I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.